discovering the newest Tommy Hilfiger fragrance for men. Awesome guys for tuning in. Today we're going to look a little bit closer at the Tommy Hilfiger Impact, a very interesting fragrance that came out this year and which I bought this summer at full retail. And yeah, why did I get this fragrance? There was something interesting. I read about it when it came out, that they produce a part of the ingredient in a very special way, and I think it's called the white biotech. So that's interesting. So we're going to look at this in depth. Is this a fragrance that I enjoyed buying? Do I regret buying it? When can I wear it? And what was my overall experience? All this coming up in this video. Awesome, you're here. Let's get rolling. Terrific. Now let's have a closer look at the Tommy Hilfiger Impact. And I joked because I bought this at full retail. The most impact it actually had was on my wallet. But that's not to say it's a bad scent. So I'll quickly look at the presentation and the scent itself. This is really a beautiful bottle design. I have the 50 ml version, and yeah, the 100 ml I think is even a little bit nicer still. So this is an interesting scent because it uses this white biotechnology, and if you want to check the batch code, it's not at the bottom, but it is, I believe, at the side, which is slightly different than I'm used to with a lot of fragrances. Tommy Hilfiger Impact, terrific. Now we jump to part 3 and we're gonna look a little bit closer at the Tommy Hilfiger Impact, which at first I was a little bit skeptical about, but after wearing it a little bit more, it started growing on me. And I sprayed some of the fragrance on my tester strip and let it dry down. And the opening I'm not as much of a fan of as the dry down. I think this fragrance is nicer in the dry down. So if you're testing it at the store, also I really recommend to spray some on your wrist. The tester strip doesn't capture it that well. So let's quickly look at the side card. We see it's an eau de toilette concentration, and that's also something I found for my testing. It's not very strong, but it's also not weak. It's somewhere in the middle, maybe slightly below the middle. It's from 2020, so from this year it was released. I paid full retail, but I've seen in the meantime the prices. Sometimes you can get a little bit of a discounty deal, and you see it's fresh, maybe a little bit citrusy, very smooth and woody. And does it smell very woody? It's like a very soft, round woodiness. And I think this is because I told you the people at Givaudan really went to work on this one, and they added the fancy white biotech Givaudan magic to it. And let's quickly look at the next side card. I took some notes, and as you see at the bottom, it utilizes a compound I think that I saw as Akigalawood. So that's probably something that's in-house to Givaudan. And yeah, what I've read, it's like a upcycled patchouli supposedly. If I hope I read that right. So that they maybe have certain grades of patchouli, and something that they maybe would normally dismiss, they can probably put in a bioreactor or something and do the white biotechnology, and out comes upcycled patchouli, which would, if that's what they're doing, which I suppose that's what they're doing, then that would be very nice, because instead of throwing something away, you refine it and enhance it, and you get a nice fragrance compound that smells surprisingly good. So I really predict we're going to see lots more of this upcycling. So, but coming back to the notes, you see bitter orange, red apple, and pink pepper. I definitely get some spiciness at the top, which when you freshly spray it, it's a little bit more, but the spiciness dries down and disappears, and then the woodier notes come out, and that's probably this Akigalawood. Elemi resin, Cypress and Clary sage in the mid, Cedarwood, Sandalwood, and Musk in the base. Definitely I get woody notes. This is it's a fresh but still woody fragrance. Musk. It's not very strong, but usually the musks are used to round it out. The fragrance smells very rounded out. so they probably have used Musk in there. But yeah, it's a little bit hard to judge from the tester strip. So my conclusion is, spray it on the skin if you want to try it. Don't dismiss it. If you don't like it, don't dismiss it right away. I was a little bit dismissive initially when I bought the bottle and I was trying it. I expected something else, and then I was a little bit disappointed. But I gave it another try and another try, and it really started growing on me. Very nice that they use creative techniques, and always nice to see the companies trying to differentiate fragrances with their own, you know, often you have like this company, Feminiche, makes Givaudan Neo, and then there's the Aqua Zone. Back in the day, there was the K-Lone, now it's the Akigalawood. So the companies do this hodgepodge of different compounds, and that gives perfumers a really nice toolbox to work with and create fragrances that have all a certain unique touch, that go in a certain unique directions, because these compounds or fragrance molecules, they can all add a certain effect to your fragrance. Very, very nice. And I predict we're going to see a lot more of this wide biotechnology in the future. So that's a trend that I can watch for you guys. And once COVID is over, I'm sure I'm also going to go to a trade fair and maybe get some information directly from the companies. Very interesting to see that. Awesome for tuning in. Let me know what other fragrances you want to see. I'm always curious to know what are your favorite fragrances. You can leave that for me at the comments below so that I can test those as well. And on my channel page, you can find a lot of other reviews. The channel is relatively new, but I'm uploading regularly, so it will grow reasonably fast. And I see you in the next video. Awesome for tuning in. You can subscribe right now if you want to, but you don't have to. Awesome you're here. Bye-bye. And because you just watched my fragrance review, you might also be interested in comparing the last fragrance against this little bit more mainstream designer fragrance from the House of Hugo Boss, for which I have also already reviewed a variety of fragrances on my channel. A lot of people have already subscribed because of the videos that I provide for you here. If you want, you can subscribe right now as well. I see you in the next video, and maybe even as a subscriber. Have fun.